The latest, US and the West pressure Africa to reject China and choose World Bank. Africa is a very important continent to the world. Africa is the largest regional bloc in the United Nations. It constitutes about 28% of the seats in the United Nations. 2, Africa has abundance of resources. And by 2030, Africa will have the most vibrant youth growth, about 42% in the whole world. And it also has very beautiful things and important things that the West need. And ever since our independence, the West have viewed Africa to be a poor continent that need help. So this West and the United States come in the name of giving us aid. But in return for what? We know, for our natural resources. And they always plan as to how we, the Africans, will govern ourselves. They don't see us to be a sovereign nation that can take decisions on our own. When our leaders go for loans from the World Bank, they give them conditions as to how we should be governed. They tell our leaders how they want we to be governed. And that is what our leaders do all the time to please these Westerners. So, in 2022, Antony Blinken said that China is growing more and more in Africa. So they have to find another means to make sure that we detach ourselves from China. And we know when China came, China is not forcing us. It is a mutual benefit. He's not treating us like the way the West and the United States are treating us. He builds infrastructure, road, name it, in order to help us. And the loan that he has given, about 140 billion to Africa, it is not as to how we should use the money, no. Like the West and the US do. The US is thinking of another strategic policy, trade policy, that will force the African to choose between the United States and China. And I think they don't have to even waste their time to do that, because they already know where we will choose. They've seen that China and Russia growing stronger every blessed day in Africa. So they are seeing this to be a dangerous move to them. So they have to find means and ways in order to bring us back to their rule, as if Africa is still a child that is learning how to walk and needs somebody to support him or her as to how to move their steps. So that's the latest around the world and in the United States of America.